Hello, engineers. Welcome back to another episode of Factorio with Bob's and Angels mods, or Angels and Bob's mods, whatever you prefer. BA, bad attitude, Bob and Angel. Bad attitude may happen, but not necessarily like Mr. T. It may happen more along the lines of me getting frustrated. So, I don't know. There's a lot to do in Bob and Angel's mods, and I thought about it the last episode. I wanted to show you guys before we jumped into the game that these are the mods I have exactly. So if you were trying to replicate my game, I thought about it. Hadn't shown you exactly which ones. I have, this one's not in Angel's Infinite Ores, but we got these 5 from Angel's, a base mod, which I think is the game thing. And then a bunch of the Bob's ones. Kind of goes slowly. You can always pause it, I imagine. Hopefully you can read that. I would imagine you can. And hopefully you have HD or something close. And we'll go down to the bottom. So I have the long reach, but it wasn't working. As a matter of fact, while I'm here, I should probably check for updates. No update. So the first episode, it was working, but it just broke. It seems like I got an update on one of these in the last couple days, and it just sort of slowed down that. By the way, this start with tin is what I was talking about, so I'm not sure if that guy helps you find it. It says 4 here in the description, but like I said, I edited it to be Factorio version 16, and also, to add 16 tin plates, and that just let us get the labs going. So far, I've played quite a bit on my alternative map. I'm learning this ahead of you guys so that otherwise it's just literally searching through YouTube and anything. How the hell do I do this? So, all right. Well, that's probably enough of that. I'll go back up to the top one more time just in case you missed it. But those are the mods if you wanted to get the same ones. And otherwise, I will see you back in the map. All right, we're back in the map, and really haven't done too much. Ran back and forth, mostly just because it was night. Now, I will at times do things off camera, just for the sake of, by the time I got to, as an example, by the time I got to the blue science in my other playing of this same map, it's like 21 hours. So if I'm trying to keep an episode to a half hour, I don't want you to wait 40 episodes necessarily. So I'll try to keep it as educational as I can. I think I'm not going to call it a Let's Play. It's sort of a Let's Play, but I hope it'd make it, if you have a question, maybe this will answer how you do a certain thing. So what we need to do in this episode, I think, is just sort of ramp things up. The first was the very, very beginning, which really was probably a wasted episode in some respects. If you're diving into Bob and Angels, there's a good chance that anything I did in the last episode was, this is really pretty close to standard way I start any map. So let's come in here and take a look at what we can make and what we can't make. We can get some inserters. That's good. We can go. This is a special tab, I think. Yeah, it is, where we can start making some stone pipes. We did that in the last episode. These conveyors are very expensive with the tin plates. We don't have tin, and we got to get it more advanced. Tell you what, these basic transport belts, which are in line with the red, like they're sort of the yellow belts of this map, really aren't too bad to make. So we can get some belts going. You can see we can already make 52 of them. And what we really want is to get some electric mining drills going. I'd like to start out with the coal just because, that'll get us with the steady flow of electricity, and then we can go quickly do that. So let's get 4 of these. We can get 2 for the coal and 2 for that, and then we'll need pretty quickly after that a burner inserter, and we need some belts. So each of these gets us 2 belts. So let's just use up all our iron at this point. It's not all of our iron, because I'm sure we have some right here. 70 more. There we go. We'll keep this guy running. Probably even want to make another oven. Or a burner. Just a furnace. There you go. That's the right word. Oops, we're going to have to wait on that because we queued all that other stuff up. So I'm not sure that it makes too much difference, but yeah, let me just come right. Well, you know what? Let's go about in line. We'll put one of them. I see a lot of guys jam these together. I don't really see. I try to, space them out so they cover the whole terrain. Like even if it's covering, this is going to put out just as much. It just will run out a little faster than this one, but then we'll clean all this up. And I want to put, even though it's a little bit of a, well, you know what, it doesn't matter. No, we'll just go just like that. Oh yeah, see the long reach doesn't work. So let's make sure this guy's attached either way, because can we make it all the way over to there? And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start over here in what I'll call the proper place, because we'll probably extend that in the future. Oh, not quite enough. You know what? Let's queue some of those up. 20 more. All right, let's go put our burner inserter in there. Now, if you never use the burner inserters, they're nice because they don't require power. So when you're trying to fire this thing back up, if there's a piece of coal, it'll suck it into itself. And what I will do, we'll leave a little room right there. And we got one pole. Why do we only have one pole? Is it because we can't make more? Let's just make as many poles as we can. It's because we don't have enough wood. All right, so let's see how far that gets us. We'll just run it right along here. If you hold and click, it just keeps placing them at the maximum distance. Look at that. Sometimes life works out. And we'll put this one as far as it'll go without not making it. All right, there you go. Wonderful. We have coal. Because we're also going to need coal to, not only to power this thing up, but to to also get this guy going down here a little bit better. All right, so we have this extra furnace. And I think what I would like to do is start setting him up just like we were going to set him up, with a belt going down through the middle. Well, why not we just, oops, I put it in the wrong place. Let's put it like we have a belt going down the middle. Yeah, we're not going to have long inserters. And we're going to have some issues here. So I don't know. We might have to move this around a little bit. And I really don't want this here in the long run anyway. Let's go back up and get some. Oops, there it is. Yeah, we really don't need this guy burning too much longer, I hope. There we go. All right, so we now got 2 things of iron going. Hopefully that'll keep up with this guy. There we go. All right, so let's see. What do we want to do here with this iron? Eventually we're going to want to put our processing, I think, kind of far away. So we'll have sort of a smelting area. We don't have nearly the stuff to do that right now. So let's just plop these guys. Yeah, see, that kind of stinks, doesn't it? But that's all right. We'll clean up that. We'll clean that up. All right, so we're getting kind of ready for that. But you know what we really need to do here before we go too much further? Sorry, I forgot. Is see this bunch, by the way, watch out for this. See this science pack? You can only make 16 of them. And this one, I imagine they might update this at some point in the future, but this one needs like a fraction of the stuff. So, well, yeah, it needs half the copper and a third of the iron. So we're going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we said in the last episode we need 30 red science. I didn't want to queue that up until we got a little bit into it, because it does takes a little while to make all of those. So, but in the meantime, we're kind of let's see, how are we doing with our coal over here? Wonderful. So we have power whenever we're ready for actually getting the sun. Well, we make some. Yeah, we made 5, so we can at least get one of these guys fired up. Doesn't make that much difference. So let's go clean up some trees, because we need the wood. Make more stuff. Yeah, one thing I noticed when I watched my own video is, and sorry you guys can't yell at me, is I noticed it was awful small sometimes. So I'll try to keep that from being a problem. I also notice I hesitate a lot of times when I talk about, when I say, like, just right there, like when I'm cutting trees, there's something about cutting trees that causes my words to not come out of my mouth. So, but see, when I'm sitting there watching it, you know, on the screen, like, this isn't so bad. It's a little hard to see my guy, but when I was watching it on the YouTube video, you know, you couldn't see. I didn't actually see it in YouTube yet, but I could just tell it's going to be, like, way small for you guys to see. So I apologize for that. Try to keep it zoomed in a little more than I'm used to when I'm actually playing the game. So, all right, let's get these converting while I think of it. Yeah, the crushed stone is used for making mineral water, but we're a long way from worrying about mineral water. Yeah, so we're getting good iron. So what we need now, we're going to want another one of these crushers. Let's get our science going. Get the inserters. That's going to be enough to get our first science done. We got one more set. Very good. Because we're going to want a splitter pretty soon to get the coal split off of that other line to feed this. Now, do we just go ahead? See, what I'd like to do. Yeah, look, I zoom out as soon as I talk about it. You know, and I'm going to. Yeah, well, I want to see where I'm at in the map. Yeah, we might need to cut right across here just for the sake of it. What I'd like to do is come over here, and then I'll zoom out. So underneath of this water, which is right above us, we'll look in the map. So we're right here. I'd like to do smelting over in this area. So in other words, this bobmonium's a little bit in the way, but other than that, there's a pretty big open area, and we can also might do the iron smelting like right down here. And I don't know if we'll ever run out of that patch over here, but at the same time, you know, just there's no, especially with no biters, and even if there is, it's really, I appreciate people wanting to make compact maps. That's certainly, but there's just no reason to kill ourselves with, and this mod pack is just so complicated. You end up with such spaghetti, and if you try to just jam it in together, like that's what I started out doing, and I'm like, this is just impossible. You know, there's just no way you're going to jam all this stuff in. So maybe we'll just start out by putting things sort of close to where I want them. Have we done our mechanical refining yet? No. All right, so I guess we should go check on our copper. We do need some of that. Just not nearly as much. There we go. And what was the other one we said we needed was, well, we could use logistics. Automation, we really kind of could use this, could use that. So we'll do automation next. All right, so we got some coal to throw in the copper. Another thing I found was, you know, it might just be, you know, my pace, so to speak, was that, see, it's got a lot in there, so we'll just let that go. Let's take some out of here. So we really don't need that much copper. And what I found was I was getting enough copper from just doing the iron lines. Now that might change as I get, but up until the point I'm doing blue science, just by processing this stuff, we're getting enough, enough different things enough copper to any production lines that I have that are certainly for the sciences. We just don't need that much copper because you need tin and other things. You still need a bunch. I actually have to, I don't want to say get rid of copper, but I'm like warehousing it at that point. So I would like to get to the point we have this ore crusher. I'd like to just go right into using that ore crusher right there. So and just using electricity rather than messing around with having to bring coal to these guys. So let's come up here. We should keep this guy going. Oops. While we're thinking about it, just keep crushing this stuff until we get that automation, or not crushing it, turning it into stone. One of the things I've noticed about this mod, because it's so intense, is that you're really pretty consistently, there we go, perfect, 2 of these would be great. You're really pretty consistently, I forget what I was going to say. Think about how much, like, you're going to take and crush this stuff. Well, as soon as we get a crusher. We're waiting on those stupid stones. But as soon as we get the crusher, we're going to crush it into like 3 different parts, each one of these. So it's better to move the ore to where you're going to go than to crush the ore and then have to move those 3 or 4 parts. I think this is going to break into 4 pieces. Does that make sense? So we're better off, moving this ore to where we want it. Yeah, we're just going to crush all this, or make all those belts. I could have probably just... sometimes I like to click like that over and over because then you start getting them a little bit faster. Get some more iron back. That makes sense. So in other words, when you click shift, it'll sit there and make 500 sprockets before you get any belts. So keep that in mind. Let's sort of semi-lay this out to just be, do we want to dip it down? Yeah, you know what? I think we want to dip it down and then come underneath of here. Because on the grand map of things, that's not that far south, and it keeps us out of our Bobmonium way. But like I said, the oops, let's get off the belt. Pick right where some trees are. The Bobmonium I'm not even going to set it up to get us started on red science. That's pretty much my first goal of the day, so to speak. Yeah, where is that? We got that little stupid piece here. Why don't we go right up in between? So they would threw me on this one. Not threw me, but convinced me to go this way. Oh, good. Look at that. So life rarely works out that way. We're going to be pulling iron from down here anyhow. So there's no sense in going up and then right across our Bobmonium field. Eventually we'll be clearing these trees out and we'll be getting, oops, why did this guy stop? I just forget to fill him up. Yes, I did. All right. That guy's out of iron. Yeah, we definitely want to keep our iron going. Iron is king, just like in... Put 100-ish so in each. Some more of that in there, just because we have it. There we go. That guy has a lot more than the other one, doesn't he? Probably could have just split that in half. Good enough, though. Alright, get some more bricks going. We do need some stone, but trust me, stone is not an issue. Alright, so how much more belts do we have? Let's just make all the belts. See, there's what I'm talking about. If you look down the bottom left, you'll see that the sprockets are just steady going, and I don't have any belts. Where if I had clicked a bunch of times on the thing, you would have gotten some belts at least. But, well, they're pretty quick. But if you do, you know, like if you're really waiting to get one little thing, especially in this, these handcrafting can take a while with Bob and Angels. There's a lot of complicated recipes. Let these build back up again. All right, so now what I'd like to do, just for the sake of doing, is, yeah, you know what? We're going to need a lot of power down along here for miners and all that stuff. So let's run a power thing down this way. Right into my belt. And not quite enough of those. Let's make 20 more so we have enough for the next time. There we go again. Yeah, that's fine. All right, is that going on either side? Yes, that's perfect. See what I mean? I like to balance these belts, and I do that typically by putting these on either side of the belt. So I wanted to make sure that it sort of self-balances for the most part, especially before you have balancers. Oops, I didn't put the rest of that, before we get involved with this, I didn't put the rest of that science in. Yep. Now, do we have enough? No, because we just made all those belts. Well, let's go take care of our copper since we're up this way. And I didn't bring any more coal. That's okay. That's probably enough. Oops, what did I do? Wrong one. Miner drill, come on. Alright, let's convert these. It's kind of a pain. Convert those. Alright, now we're back in business. Let's get down here, and I think what I may do, I don't know, like I'm just looking at the time, and I know it's because I talk too much, but I'm also, you know, a little bit of explanation, but I'm also pretty steady in my getting things done, I think. So how far is good? I'm just going to want to stay far enough away. That's probably pretty good. I don't want to get into these cliffs too much. So what I would like to do, I found this setup to be, you know, reasonable. I mean, again, I'm not trying to be super space efficient. I'm going to come here, put one down. Then I'm going to hit shift. Let's move over 1, 2, 3. Is that right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'll cut that tree out of the way. All right, automation finished. So now we really want to get logistics. I probably almost should have got logistics. Well, we're going to get logistics before we start this thing up. And I'll show you why. Because now that splitters have a filter on them, that's just huge. Huge, huge, huge. Because, you know, I've watching other people's videos and... Sorry, we got to go get more iron. Watching other people's videos, and they struggle a lot with this mod. Just because they don't have... you know, when you do these Angel and Bob's, because you don't have filters, and you just get all this different stuff dumping out of different things. And even those splitters are just a cheaper way. That they're easier, lower tier. As far as the let's get some more coal. They're just better in the sense. Oh, yeah, there we go. That guy's got plenty. This guy's got plenty. This guy stopped. That's what I wanted to check. That guy really doesn't even need that much. Give him 100. We'll get all this iron until he slows down a bit. He'll slow down once he's crushed all that stuff. There we go. Good enough. Better than enough. Yeah, let's put a lot in there. Crusher uses the least. And that crusher will get used up. There we go. Alright, so let's get our 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 each right click. So we got our 20 science going. That'll get us logistics. Let's let that cook a while, and we'll go keep setting this up. And then once we forget to remember, we'll remember, and then we'll go up and do that. Put the science in the labs. But in the meantime, again, if you're real new to the game, which I doubt you are if you're playing Bob and Angels, and if you're real new and you're a glutton for punishment, go for it. Hey, why not, right? Have fun. But at the same time, you really are a glutton for punishment just to play it. And it may be a good idea to get the game basics down in the regular old version. Alright, so we also need a number of inserters. Well, we got that stupid science going, so I don't have any belts. I don't have anything, so might as well go stand up there by the siren. Well, might as well cut some trees. Yeah, let's get all the trees out of our way. So we got plenty of room to do what we need to do when we're ready to do it. Oop. Yeah, we're going to need another pick here shortly. Let's do that now. I don't like to make too many. You really don't need too many iron picks. And before you know it, we'll be making some steel. And steel picks are just a lot faster and a lot more durable. And they're also, I think there might even, I don't know. There might even, I don't think there's anything you need a steel pick. But some of these ores you can't break with your hand at all. So, there we go. Now we're getting some belts in. Alright, so what I like to do is we'll bring this guy right in the middle. And we're still waiting on that. Now what we're going to need to do is we'll bring them back out the sides. The reason I put the ghost images, we kind of need, oh, what happened? Oh, I got too far away. So that we know, we're going to put an electrical pole right there. So we'll come here. Right in the middle, have that out. And that'll give it a bit of a balancing, you know, again, self-balancing. And then we're going to come into the ore sorting facility, which we need more iron, which is fine because then we need to get up here anyway and deal with our red science. Oops, too far north. There we go. All right, wonderful. So we'll get the splitters that we'll need very shortly. While we're up here, well, no, you know what? Let's snag. We don't need to snag coal off of there. Yeah, there's another reason for the coal is to get the. We're going to need to drag coal all the way down here. So we're going to need, you know, oops, what did I do? The decision to, let's get coal from here. The decision to go all the way over there will have a little consequence in the sense that it will take us a little extra long to get. Yeah, we really don't need that much coal, do we? Coal is not the issue. Let's check these in an intelligent order. If you go from, we'll just dump all this in here. If you go from start to finish, then you can empty things out logically. There we go. See what I mean? You can fill them up and empty them. Hold on one second. Had to cough. All right. There we go. Let's also get this guy compacting. And by the way, this is each one of those stones. That's a good example. Is 2 crushed stones. So you need, so you cut the amount that you're actually transporting in half if you actually make those first. Speaking of which, we are going to want to do that. So we want an assembly machine. And we wanted the coal crushers, right? Oh, we only have enough for 1. So what are we short of? See, that's why you stay up here. Make yourself a maul of sorts. Oops. And let's get those going. By the way, that is my intention, more or less, is to make sort of a maul, like over in this area, like south, but probably keep our power up in here. And, a lot of times I like the mall in the middle. I also like the science somewhere near the mall because then it's in the middle. So this right here may end up being like the middle, where we're just sort of having some space to, things will tend to surround that point, I guess you could say. All right, so we got let's make sure before we get over there. No, we can't make splitters because we don't have tin. Okay, well we can deal with that. But let's just get over here and we do have to get a little bit of a tin line going. And let's get another one of these going. So where is this? These things are huge. As it say, it's still making that first one, isn't it? So we're just going to put this guy right here, but we'll do a ghost image of this one, just so I don't think it's going to take that long. Right there. What I found is 2 of these here, 2 of these there. Pick that up. 2 there and there on the outgoing. I forget how many I normally put here. Might be 2. We'll start out with 1 just because we're a little short on stuff. If it's not super duper fast, that's okay too. Alright, so we got this other one we can plop in. Alright, now what we're going to do while we're waiting for inserters is right here at the end where we're going to put in a splitter right there. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we'll do this. And we're going to loop this guy right back up this way. And he's going to be with stone in him. So picture an inserter, right here. And now we're out of belts again. Yeah, you really need to get iron going. And then we'll do the same thing over here. So we'll put there you go. Does that make sense? So we'll have a splitter right there once we get one. Stone will get pumped back out, and then what we'll do is probably right over here. Let's see if we got enough to at least work that out. So we'll come up. Yeah, we'll have like a little middle ground. Like this. Doesn't need to be that far away, but I do like to leave a little space if you ever want to sneak something past there in the future. So how about right there? That should be enough sneaking room. We'll go down 1. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll feed some stone in and back out this way. Did that cover that? There you go. So like all of our stone, we'll use a little tunnel to get across here. Now there you go. So see, that works out. Eventually we'll have something there, so we might as well put the pole there. And there. Now this, I'm just going to put a pole right here. Right there. And then another one there. Once you get a bigger pole, that can cover all of that. But, all of that will be covered. So now Let's just run our power right back along this line. Our iron's all filling up. So what do we need? We need splitter. I'll stay away from the tree. This is where the line is. Close enough. All right, we got power going over there. Now, I didn't set the recipe, so they won't do anything. And we need, let's get this guy going again. Oops, forgot to get the plates. Now we needed 10. So what does that mean? Well, it means we have enough copper. And we're going to be producing copper pretty shortly here. Though we do want to get, copper smelting line going. But what I think it means is we're just going to rip up this there it is. We're just going to rip all this up. These are done as far as needing coal. So let's just take these up. We'll take our chances. It may come back to bite us. But we've got a good amount of copper. We can get that guy burning up the rest of it. That's actually, a fair amount to keep us going. While we're thinking about it, let's get all those made. All right, so we'll get some more copper. But what that lets us do is come on over to our tin deposit. Which actually, I said we weren't going to use bobmonium, didn't I? Bobmonium is the tin, so we are going to use plenty of that. Let's take a look. Let's start off in about the middle. And do we have enough to do miners? Yes. So we'll make 2 more miners. And we don't have enough to do belt, so let's stay on top of our iron production. So we don't... Well, we could do the other miners, but let's just go right in for the real miners. Sound good? All right, yeah, let's get our ore. Oh, what happened here? Why is there no... Oh, because he's out. Well, just as well. That's all right, buddy. You're fired. All right, since we have... Let's just plop this right up here, since there's power already there. And there we go. So we'll start putting some coal. But you know what? We don't need 10,000 coal. Let's limit... Come on. Limit it to about 500. Sound fair? So that'll be more coal than we were getting before anyway. And we're really going to... I don't think we're going to need to carry around coal too much more in the near future. All right, so let's take these... That guy more stuff to do. Yeah, so we're in good shape on coal over here. Alright, so now what we need is more belts. And when it comes to what we're going to do over here, I don't think we won't worry about the setting up the permanent smelting area. We're just going to come over here. Or should we? No, because we want to get the area going. Let's just get this guy making us something, We'll draw a line like right through here. That way we miss that pond. Did I drop down one? No. So in that case, there's no advantage to being further away. But this will at least get us a little bit right near these stupid trees. All right, so let's pump this guy out. Like I said, I just want to get this going enough. See, we don't want a burner crusher. So let's come here and here. We'll just make a regular. We got to bring power over here anyway. And by the way, any of the burner crushers you do make, it will recycle them. So for now, we'll just do one of these. One of these. The problem is we're going to have to deal with the... And let's see, we should have... Oh, we used up the... Okay, let's just make another... Make another two. I think we used these stone furnaces in something, so we'll make up two of them. That means we got to get coal. Nah, we can carry coal down for what we need. But this, we'll let that keep throwing that in there and that in there. And we don't have any electric belts. Use up all those. See what I mean about right-clicking? I know some people have at least questioned other YouTubers. Why are you right-clicking like that? That's why I right-click. Yeah, so we got poles right here. And we got power. And we can set this recipe to crushed bobmonium. And then the only issue we're going to have, like I said, is keeping this filtered out for a minute. Again, we're not looking for a... we don't have any coal. Do we have coal on us? No. All right, let's go get... Oops. Let's go get some... Hit the wrong button. Let's go get some coal. Yeah, so here's my debate, and if you guys have any thoughts or feedback on it, I mean, I can go on doing things off camera to get these lines set up, but I really don't want to do too much, you know, because I can't stand, especially with something like this. I like to see when somebody does a lot of the stuff. I understand that can get, oops, yeah, that's right, we don't have our things over here anymore, do we? I can understand that gets pretty dry. Either that, maybe I should just do longer episodes. I mean, let me know if you have an opinion. It's not like I have any Factorio fans, so if you're watching this in the next few days, this is March 19th, 2018. If you're watching it, you're probably one of my first Factorio fans, I hope, anyway. All right, let's get this. There we go. So we got plenty of coal. Yeah, just throw the rest in there. So we'll have a couple tin plates. Let's pick some of this stuff up. We don't need many, because we don't need that many splitters. All right, so there's enough for two. There's three. This guy seems to be losing the battle of getting bobmonium in him, huh? See, they're both... Here, let's do this. E. Oh, now what do I need? I don't have any wood. I don't have enough plates. I thought I had enough. I thought it was two. So we need 8. There we go. So we got 8. We got to go get some wood. There we go. All right, so at least that way we can get this guy going. Yeah, let's make a chest. I find because of the scarcity of wood, it's better to make iron chests. But what I'm going to also do is... let's just see. Let's get the splitter going first. There we go. Splitter. This guy's right in the wrong spot. And then we'll turn this guy. We come in here. This filter thing is great. Come here. Come here. Yep. Crushed stone. There we go. So all the crushed stone should go there, and then we'll just dump it into an iron chest. We just got to clear this out so it keeps running. Let's dump this in here. So there you go. There's a real basic. I think that's as basic as you can get. And the reason for going through all this crushed stone thing is, you know, you have one ore here, right? And you can take it and put it right into your furnace. But then, if you come here, if we hover over the recipe, you'll see that, well, 2 bobmonium ore only gets you 2, plus it gets you the stone. So that's not true here. Yeah, this is really not very efficient, to be honest with you. Yeah, 2 bobmonium gets us products, 2 bobmonium. So why are we crushing it just to get stone? That seems kind of stupid, doesn't it? Anyway. Point also is that we needed 2 more splitters. Do we have enough to make those splitters? Yes, we do. So let's get those splitters making. I think we're still, yeah, we're making the splitters now. Let's just finish up the beginning part of this, and then we'll cut the episode here. I'm not sure if the timing is perfect for cutting the episode. Oh, you know what it is? When we come in here and we do crush sapphirite, right? You have to crush it. So even though you don't get any more in the crushing process, when you come here, you get your 2 iron, plus you get the copper. So the copper you can almost look at as like a bonus, because each one of these got crushed to 2, or 1, you know, and then you only get 2, so there's not a whole lot of point, but you get this slag and the copper. So, for example, we're not even going to do a copper line. Oops, wrong way. No, I know what I did wrong. Let's put this guy in before I spin it around. So there we go. So now, if we just... Yeah, can we make underground tunnels? I think we can. But we need more tin. Yeah, so just a little bit expensive. So we're not going to do that in this episode, just because it's sort of expensive. But I'll give you guys a picture of the layout in case you're watching this and you want to see the plan. So what I'll do, turn this guy here, and then we'll do like another underground right here. And this is the thing. So what we'll do is we'll put a splitter right here. No, we're not going to put a splitter right there. We're going to... Yeah, because this guy should be... Let's see, puts it on the outside. That turns it to the inside, inside, inside. There you go. No, we'll do that. I don't think it matters too much. Let's see what happens if we just do this. Because this is going to pick them off pretty quick. This shouldn't ever back up, or these are going to quickly back up over here. So, oh, by the way, this is going to go to that. So we got these making the sapphirite. Oops, let's filter right. Come on, quick, before we get a mess. There you go. So there's our stone filtering to the right. The sapphirite. What is it? I don't know. How do I say this? Yeah, sapphirite. There, going to the left, feeding into here. This guy should pick them up. When he gets done, he'll drop them off over here. Yeah, we should have some more tin. Let's go. Let's extend the episode. Special extra 5 minutes. Episode extension. So this is... Putting the second guy there was a bit of a waste, huh? So let's make... I can make 1 tunnel. What am I out of? Iron. Well, we're working on it. Yeah, iron, iron, iron. If you haven't heard that word 40 times. So what we can do now is we'll at least have, you know, before we even get a regular setup. Oops. We'll at least have Sorry, let me do this first because I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. We will at least have a setup where we can get iron going and copper going, and that will be very nice. You know, because we're producing half as much copper, that's really, in the long run, so far, like I said, it's become a nuisance for me because you don't have two separate lines. If this line backs up with copper, then he backs up with everything, you know? All right, so what we want to do is we made this so that when I fire this guy up, oops, before I fire him up, I always forget this, and then it makes a mess, and then I got to clean it up left on the side. Yep, there you go. So now set your recipe and give him some inserters. Ooh. Yeah, we should make an inserter. Oh. Can we make... Can't make splitters. What are we missing? Wood. We have wood. Let's come down here. Nothing down here. Gather wood. I don't want to go too far into the woods. There's plenty of stupid trees that stand a fair chance of being in our way at some point in the near future. I didn't really think of the splitters taking so much wood, but it's these circuit boards. By the way, in one of the, next episodes, probably not the next, we'll finish working on the iron in the next one. We can actually pretty easily make a good amount of wood. Or fairly easily. So we'll see. There's always going to be something into it. All right, so what do we got going on here now? Splitters. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, we can only get one splitter? Now we're out of zinc. Or not zinc, tin. Kind of looks more like zinc to me. I don't know. Tin is not really green in my experience. All right, so we got that. And then now we need one. All right, so we'll just make a few of those. See, again, and that time I left click, so just so we'll get one of them, I don't want to say as soon as possible, but soon. All right, see, like in this case, I've already got this thing running, but what I want to do is like, and I could actually move that in one time. I did before. Like, there's no reason it's sticking out, but, I don't know. Real estate's pretty cheap. So what are we going to do? I think I'm going to smelt and make iron down here. I'll make copper down here. So what I'll do is left priority, and it's actually kind of goofy, but it's in this one, copper. So then this one, we want to right priority the slag, which is in this one, slag. So let me come here and we'll just suck those clean. And same thing here. Now this one, for now, I'm just going to do like this thing. And we'll get ourselves a chest. Oops, was there before. And I don't want those in my inventory. And you can dump things back into these, which I've been doing plenty of. So there we go. So that way it gets back on the line when the line's ready. So now our problem is, let's get that out so you guys can see it. There we go. So there's the beginning of setting up an iron line. And I think that's going to be about the name of this video, if I remember that. But we'll get backed up real quickly because we're not doing anything with our iron. But in the next episode, we should be able to, get into smelting. At the very least, we don't have iron plates yet, but at least we got the iron ore. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Here, let me come in here and zoom in nicely so you can, if you do want to build the same thing, you can take a look. There's our stone, by the way, coming out of here. We can, do a underground. Actually, I'll probably do an underground in this. Because we also want to get our slag out of here. Because each one of these is going to produce, like every time we set up a little mini line like this, it's going to produce slag. So eventually we're going to want to central slag storage, and same thing with the stone. I started out like processing stone all over the place and realized, you know what, I just need a central location to buffer and just process stone into bricks and stuff like that. And then I don't know if you guys have another idea. You pave everything because you're going to end up with 1,000,000 bricks with this mod. So, which isn't the end of the world. Makes you run faster on them. So, all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll come out like part 2 of the iron line. I guess we can call it. Will be called the iron and copper line. But we'll try to get maybe next episode iron and copper going. I will do what I need to do to try to get a few of the ingredients together, nothing big, but just make sure I can make some things and plan some things out. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.